Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello, good evening. So sorry for coming up live late, a little late. Had some technical issues. Good evening. How's your day been? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're watching from. How's your day been? It's actually evening in Nigeria, so good evening. So, how's your day been? How's it been from the last conversation till today? We've had amazing conversations this year. And I remember last month, which was the month of June, we had an amazing marathon, Father's Marathon. It was an amazing conversation, back to back conversations, back to back, eye opening information about being a father. And today we're going to be having something that I think we open our minds up, a conversation that will help a lot of parents because we've had parents that have had issues when it comes to parenting their toddlers. So we're going to be having a wonderful conversation this evening. Permit me to say evening since we're streaming from Nigeria with an amazing coach. Yes, an amazing coach. She's amazing. You agree with me when you see her. Thank you so much, Cheesy Jeff Peace, for joining us. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're watching me right now, you can tell me where you're watching from so I know where you're watching from. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about the terrific twos. Yes, I'm sure some people will be wondering what are they talking about today. You get to know very soon. And thank you so much, Evie Pegg. I can see you. Good evening to you too. So quickly, we're going to go right away into the conversation so we can harness and maximize the time we have. Now, I have a wonderful coach joining us today. I'm going to read her profile quickly. Okay, she's a children's coach and the founder of Home Sweet Home Academy, a group on Facebook. She's also the convener of an online club for children, the Lead Child Club, for ages 6 to 12 years. She's a children's minister in our church. She started in the children's ministry in 2007. She did her basic certificate course with the Children Evangelical Ministry, CEM, in 2015. She also did a basic certificate course, in teens ministry organized by Teenagers Outreach Ministry, TOR, in 2020. She has served as a children and teens leader for 6 years on different tenures in the children department of Living Faith Church Worldwide, Igbo Eche, Rivers State. She has also obtained a certificate in child psychology and life coaching with New Skills Academy in 2022. In her quest to know more about parenting, she started a parenting course with the Intentional Parent Academy, TIP, and she's still in the academy till date. She's a children's author and has authored 4 children's books and journals. She's married and blessed with 4 amazing children. See, the coach we're bringing today knows it. She has knowledge on what the topic we're going to be having conversation on. So please get your writing materials ready. You can get a glass of water so you don't have to leave your seat or leave and like you need a break. Just be stationed and ready to learn. Thank you, Mr. Ito. I can see you. So join me as I roll it up for our guest this evening. Yes, we're going to be welcoming our guest up right away. I hope she's on stage. Our guest, Coach Lorine Abere. Coach Lorine Abere. Yes, we're going to be waiting for her a little bit. Yes, she's well informed, and I'm sure she's going to break some tables today. She's very good at breaking tables. Yes. So we're going to be talking about the terrific twos today. You need to understand. Most times people see them as, while we're waiting for her to come up, people see the terrific twos as the terrible twos. No, the toddlers. We're talking about toddlers today. People see them as the terrible twos because there are a lot of what's the word now? A lot of restlessness, a lot of issues, a lot of no's. When you take your toddlers, a lot of things. Sometimes they tell you no and the rest. So who is a toddler? A toddler is actually a fascinating little person aged between 1 and 3 years old. So when you have a child that is between 1 and 3, that is actually a toddler. So for those of us that have children between this age range, you have toddlers. When your child gets to 4, you have a preschooler. Yes, so there's a difference. And there are certain attributes you see that are peculiar to toddlers, okay? So when your child is between 1 and 3, that is called a toddler. And most times in this age range, people call them the terrible twos But I see them as the terrific twos, and a lot of people see them as terrific twos. Why? Because it is a stage of innocence, it's a stage of magic mind, it's a stage of, most of the disturbance we see that we tend to be like, oh, these children are causing a nuisance. It's just them being children. And sometimes imagine your life when your children have grown beyond a particular stage and they become preteens or teenagers. I don't know if you miss the stage. For those of us that have children that are preteens and teenagers now, do you ever miss the time your baby was an infant or your baby was a toddler? And that is why I say, for every stage in the life of a child, unless that stage, leave out the memories with that child, because the child will never be one again, the child will never be two again, the child will never be three again. So most of the things we see as stressful when it comes to children between the ages of 1 and 3 is actually not stress. It's just the children living their life in the way they know how best to live their life. So, there's something called the prefrontal cortex in the brain. Now, the prefrontal cortex gets fully developed in your 20s. So, when you talk about a toddler that just between the age of 1 and 3, the brain of that child is not fully developed. And that part of the brain is responsible for coordination, responsible for controlling impulse, responsible for self-control, and a lot of things. So, you can imagine you expecting a toddler to just be calm. You go for a program and you expect the child to just sit down quietly. There are exceptions anyway, but it is not actually the way they behave. So I think our guest is here. Let me add her to the live streaming and see if she'll come up.
Hello. Good evening,
Hello,
ma'am.
Larry. Good evening. I can hear your voice, but I can't see you. Okay, I can see you
Okay.
now. I can't see you now.
Um,
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome.
Can you hear me?
I'm excited though, because yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you, ma'am. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. I can.
Okay, so we're good. We're good. Welcome, welcome. I'm
All
so
right.
yes,
Thank
I'm so
you. Thank you for having me.
yes,
I don't
yes, ma'am.
okay. I don't take this privilege for granted, this opportunity for granted. Thank you, ma. And thank
Thank
you
you.
for putting this webinar together. Anytime I see webinars on toddler, they say they are inviting me, I'll just say, God, ah, is this the reason why you gave me a toddler this time? This
Wow.
when I had other kids, I wasn't talking about toddlers. So why is this one so different? Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
we are good to go. We are good
Yes, we
to
are
go.
good. We're good to go. We're good to go. We're expecting you to break a lot of tables today, because I know that's one thing you're good at doing. So we're very
Okay. So we are talking about the terrific twos,
yes,
the
yes, yes.
terrific twos, and we I shouldn't assume that we all know what terrific twos are. So I would want to just, I know that our host has been able to give us a hint about what we mean by the terrific twos. Now, when we talk about the terrific twos, we're talking about toddlers. They are described as toddlers. And some people will say the terrible twos. And I laugh most times when I hear such words, the terrible twos. Why do you call them terrible twos?
Oh, I think you have some network issues. Okay. We'll wait for her to come back. Okay, let me continue. Now, I was saying something about the prefrontal cortex. So when you expect a toddler to behave in a certain way, very organized, very administrative, just their behavior so composed and the rest, that's a facade. Is exceptional cases. You see toddlers that are very organized, very behaved. Their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, so there's a certain level of certain things they can't do. They can't be fully organized, And okay, I think she's back. Yes, you're back, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, back. I don't know if it's only my side that this network is really disturbing. I don't know, but I just pray that God will help us. We ask for a stable network, that
Yes, we do.
the weather will be favorable unto us all, and we'll all learn. Okay, all right. So I can I go on, ma'am?
Yes. We're trying to define who a toddler is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, ma'am. I can hear you, ma'am. But Lorine, can you hear me? I think our screen is frozen
Okay,
again.
so when we talk about the terrific tools, we're describing toddlers, and we're talking about their developmental stages, and people often label them as terrible twos. That's where that terrific came from. Terrible. They say toddlers are terrible. T for terrible. When you hear toddler, you just hear parents say, ah, mo gbe terrible, terror. I've even heard a parent say, terror. And I was like, are you sure you are not a terrorist? Because to me, this child is harmless. He's just doing his thing. You know, I'm privileged to be a mom of 4 kids, and I'm raising a toddler currently. My toddler just turned 3 last
Wow.
month, and I can tell you that it has been amazing. When you get knowledge on this journey, it becomes easier to parent. I've been able to compare my parenting experience with
Okay, I think she's having network issues. I pray today's network is favorable for us so that we don't have to keep going back and forth. Okay, so there are certain activities or actions that you find out that toddlers carry that as parents we consider as problems, but they're actually non-problems because they're like the norm for a toddler. So there are certain things we see them do that we think these are problems. So your child is always saying no. You tell the child, leave there, don't play with that. I say no. The first thing that comes out of the mouth of the child is no. And you say, this is a problem. How can this child not just know how to listen and behave? There are certain things we term as problems when children are in this developmental stage, that's toddlers, and they're actually not problems. They are non-problems. They're actually like what is common, what is peculiar, or what you see in a majority of toddlers. Even though there are some exceptions, but is termed as non-problems. And most of the times, they are not things we like. They are not likable, but they are part of the life of a toddler. And there are things that we are most likely not to be able to escape. I think she's back. Welcome back, ma'am.
thank you. I'm trying so hard to use two network. I'm using MTN, I'm using Airtel, and I don't still understand or is the network terrified by the topic? Oh my god. All right. So I said I'm privileged to be a mom of 4 kids, and
Wow, the network is really terrified.
the I don't want to say, I can feel the joy that parents who are currently having toddlers are enjoying. Yes, I can understand. I can relate with your joy. I can relate with your pains. I can also relate with the fact that I know that it has not been an easy journey for you as a parent of a toddler. But when you get knowledge, when you get wisdom, when you get understanding, you will find out that there's so much fun that is just around this set of human beings. I can tell you for sure that every time I look at my toddler, I just smile. There's this joy. I just look at his innocence, I look at his simplicity, I look at the easiness. There's this ease. They just move with ease. They don't have problem. We are the ones that have problem. Oh, you that is parenting toddler, you are the problem person. Toddlers don't have problem. You are the problematic parent. Why the problem to fight for toddlers today? I come from the community of toddlers, and I'm going to fight for them today, and I'll bring justice. I'm taking you to the court of toddlers today. All top parents of toddlers. If you know a parent that is a parent that has a toddler, please tag them, drag them into this session, let them come and hear. That's what we say. Come and see, oh, come and see. Parents of toddlers, come and see, come and hear. Come and hear that you are the one terrorizing these toddlers. They are not the one terrorizing you. If you have a toddler at home, there's a whole lot you can learn from them. And I have been privileged to learn on this journey. Yes. And I can say this for sure, that they are the most amazing human that is not a lie. It's true that there are challenges that comes when you are raising a toddler. Yes, there are a lot of challenges that come, but the truth of the matter is that they are all teachable moments. Every phase of your toddler is teaching you something. Every phase of your toddler. Remember, your toddler is going through a developmental stage. It's going to be they are going to transit from one stage to another. Going to walk, they're going to sit, they're going to stand, they're going to write, they're going to jump. Every stage of a toddler's life is teaching you something. If you are ready to learn from the mess, there is always a message in every mess that a toddler makes. I can tell you for sure that I learned patience from my toddler. In short, I didn't just learn it from him, I overcame the ability to always be tense just being around my toddler. Anytime I'm even tense, once I go close to my toddler, that's innocence, that because I now understand that these human beings, they don't have problem. The problem there in raising a toddler is when you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the skills, you don't have the understanding of who you are raising. The truth of the matter is, raising a toddler can be challenging. Yes, we know, but it is a teachable tool. It's a teachable moment if you are ready, if you are patient, if you are ready to go through that process. You will find out that they are the most amazing creatures to be with on planet Earth. You look at your toddler most times, you just look at them and smile, and they are smiling back at you innocently. They don't even know why you're smiling to them, but they are just smiling. You smile to them, they smile to you. You frown at them, they you tell them, give me a high five, and they give you a high five. They are just wonderful creatures. But that does not mean that the fact remains that we, as many parents, are still struggling to understand them, because they have tagged them the trouble ones. They tag them the tantrum child. They tag them the messy child. There's a whole lot of names we have given to our toddlers, and we just want them to remain there. We will call them troublesome. We call them disobedient. We call them stubborn. We call them rude. We use all manner of words at them because we don't understand them. Your child as a toddler is learning. This child came to you empty. Every stage you are supposed to put in something into that child. So if you label that child troublesome, you are simply telling that child all the days of your life, go and make trouble. If you label that child stubborn, you are simply telling the child all the days of your life, go and be stubborn. But by the time you begin to understand that every stage of your child's life, of a toddler's life, is a period for the child to learn and transit, you will be calmer, You, in short, you will be more patient and you will be more tolerant. Now, instead of focusing on the negative aspects of your children, of your toddler, why not emphasize on the positive changes that you are seeing in these children? Instead of us just focusing on, oh, my toddler is always spilling water on the floor, he's always let me tell you the major problem parents have with toddlers: they cry a lot. That's just their problem.
Yes, they do.
Ah, my
They
toddler
do.
can cry for Africa. When he start crying here, he will cry for everything. He will cry for water, he will cry for food,
Yeah.
he will cry for snack. This boy can cry, he can cry for federal. This girl can cry. That's our problem. Oh. They cry a lot. And another one is they don't know how to sit in one place. How can they sit in one place?
Yes. Yes.
I was privileged to be on coach her life parenting session. I said, you that is the parent, tell me the truth. Can you sit still for 2 hours? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. So you that is a parent, just sit down for 2 hours. So don't move your bum bum. Oh, just sit down the way you sat down. Position yourself. Don't raise your hand. Don't turn. Just stay there like that. Oh, with your hands folded. Toddlers are meant to move about. It is nature. They must move up and down. They are not static. They are not robots, and they must move. You cannot determine when they should move and when they should not move. Now listen, in their movement, they are testing their environment. They are checking for the safety of their environment. Do you know, sometimes I will tell my daughter, what are you looking for? Nothing. Oh, mommy, nothing. I'm not looking for anything. Where are you going to? I don't know. I don't Where are you going to? I don't know. But he's going, he's moving. And I was, okay, I want to move with you. He said, hey, mommy, you want to move with me? I said, yes, I want to follow you to where you are going to now. Because you know, I say, okay, I want to sit down now. He will not sit down. I will not sit down too. So sometimes all these things, they make me but if it's a parent that lacks understanding, they're just walking up
Yeah.
and down. You don't have work to do.
Yes.
How will
Get
you have
angry.
work? Is it me a toddler? I don't understand. Am I not a toddler? Is it me that sent you not to be a toddler? It's my time. Now listen, the child will not remain a toddler forever. Your child will not
Very
remain
true.
a toddler forever. We must shift our approach towards these children. We must gain knowledge about their behavior.
Network. Oh, our guest is having a lot of network issues today, and this conversation is amazing. And I believe that the little she has been saying, we have been getting a lot or getting a tin or two for what she has been saying. It's very important that we understand that toddlers, they have a word of their own, and we need to understand their words to be able to parent them better. So, like she said something, it said every phase of your toddler's life is teaching you something. You can't parent in ignorance. Very key. You can never parent in ignorance. You must parent with knowledge. You must parent with knowledge.
Okay, I think I'm back. So the
Yes, you
question
are.
now is, who then is a toddler? A toddler is a child between the ages of 1 and 3. Mine just clocked 3 few weeks ago. That's last month, and it's a period of rapid growth. There's a lot of mobility. The child is moving. Language acquisition. The child is learning words. Is learning phrases. It's stage. The child is learning language. Every language you are throwing out around the house, the child is speaking it. Your child is learning your language as a toddler. In short, the best time now to start speaking that language for that child is between the ages of 1 to 3. You don't even need to wait for the child to get to 5. Any language you speak for a toddler at from ages 1 to 3, the toddler will pick it. So if you are speaking their language before they are 5, from ages 1 to 5, a child should have mastered his or her parents' mother tongue. Yes, that's the best time because there's a lot of language acquisition that comes with that age. Then development, developing independence. A toddler wants to do things by themselves. They don't want you to help them. They are not rude, they are not stubborn. They want to wear their trouser themselves. It is part of the development. They want to pick. Do you know there was a day I picked a trouser for my child. I picked a trouser for him to put on to church. You know what he did? He went and dropped that trouser and went and carried trouser that he used to play ball. Because he has one he used to
That's
go
funny.
and
Like,
play ball outside. He took that trouser. Almost some parents with gbas just for the child to wear the trouser. I did not say anything. I said, is this the trouser you want to wear? I say yes. I said, okay. I said, bring it, let's wear it. And I said, but let me just say something. Oh. Can I say something? Say, mommy, say it now. I said, okay. This trouser you want to wear now, if we wear it and go to church, you will not see the difference between the trouser you are wearing and the one you are wearing for church. You will not see the difference. So I was able to tell him, I said, this trouser is for playing ball. If I allow you wear this trouser to church now, by the time you go to church, you will go and play with it. The trouser will be tearing you.
oh, the network. Okay, you can't parent in ignorance. It's very important. Let me just go through some of the things she has said. You can never parent in ignorance. You must gain knowledge. Parenting involves people that are knowledgeable. You don't parent by default. There are certain skills, there are certain tools that you need to parent your toddlers effectively. What you don't know, you can excel in it. So let's not leave or parent our toddlers with assumptions. You just assume, okay, this is the way the child is, this, and you label your children. You said something very important. Let's do well as parents, not to label our children. So because your toddler is very restless, you just label the child as a restless child, as a noisy child. You're back, ma'am.
God is our helper today.
Yes, so
God is our helper. So I was saying something. I said, this is the stage where your toddler is developing independence. They want to do things themselves. They want to do things themselves. You even want to suggest to them what to wear. They say no. There's no need to fight and quarrel over it. Nobody needs to die first. Nobody has to cry to church. Do you know that the moment you beat a child to go to church and the child cries, anytime you mention church, the child will be afraid because he knows that beating will go with it. Everything that occurs in a toddler's life, they take note of it. They see it as a pattern. If you always beat your child to read his book at a toddler, the child will be scared of books. If you beat your child to eat, the child will see food and be scared of food. Anything you do to a toddler at this their developmental stage, you are simply telling them that it is okay to keep doing that thing to anybody. So if you use abuse to wake your toddler will see that abuse is the best way to interact with people, and anything your toddler wants to say to somebody, he will use abuse. If you use harsh words, if you use threats, anything you are doing to a toddler at this stage is what the toddler will give back to you when he becomes a preschooler, a preteen, and a teenager. This is the stage where you are planting. The toddler stage is a planting stage. Everything you plant in this stage, anything you put into that seed, They will normalize it to be so. They will take it as the normal, and they will run and grow and become an adult with it. I thought maybe because I was telling God that if I had known better, I would have corrected so many things in the lives of my children when they were growing up, because I didn't have much knowledge at that time. Maybe that's why he gave me the privilege to parent a toddler, because my daughter is 7 years. My daughter is 7 years, she will soon be 8, and my toddler is 3 years. So you can see that there is a lot of gap there. When my daughter was 5 going to 6, yes, my daughter, I gave birth to my daughter in 2016. Now me giving birth to somebody in 2022, you can see that is a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of gap there.
Yeah.
So in 2021, rather, I gave birth to my son in 2021. Yes, I gave birth to him in 2021. I gave birth to my daughter in 2020, in 2016. So there's a gap. There's a gap there. There's a whole lot. The gap is much there. So because I had concluded that I was done, but God was not true with me yet. Maybe because I had so many regrets. I'm telling you the truth. I had so many regrets. Oh, if I had known, I would have started these things earlier with my children. If I had known, I would have focused more in planting during that toddler age. I would have focused more in planting. Your toddler is for you to, is a season of planting in them. That stage of your toddler is a time for you to plant. That is where, because that is the stage they come to you empty. Nothing is influencing them. You are their only influencer. You are your toddler's influencer. You are your toddler's first influencer. Anything you put in your toddler from ages 1 to 3 will stay with that child. Nobody can take it away. Because that is where they are developing, they are learning, they are acquiring, they are increasing, they are growing, they are increasing, they are acquiring, they are developing, they are learning. It is a stage where you go to the farm, you are clearing. In the toddler stage, the feed have been given to you. That's the toddler. You are clearing, you are cleaning them up, clearing the field. Then you now start planting. You plant the good attitude, you plant love, you plant peace, you plant calmness, you plant patience, you plant trust, you plant faith. Anything you plant in your toddler. When I look at my daughter and my toddler, my preschooler and my daughter is 7 now. That's school age. Yeah, school age, 7 to 9 is school age. So when I look at my daughter and my toddler, my school aged and my toddler, I see the difference between my teenager and my preteen. I have them in all the ages. Yes. So I see the difference. The work I do with the younger ones is very easy, because these things were coming from before they became preschooler. I had been able to plant some things in there. It's very easy to tell my toddler something, but when I'm trying to now tell the older ones, when I was trying to bring, though I'm still trying to clear off some things off my teenagers and my preteens, and now replant, because there are some things I didn't put right at that age. That we call it weeding. I'm now trying to weed. It's now I'm weeding off. And my son will say, "Mommy, well, this thing you are doing with these children, you didn't do it." I say, "Because I lack knowledge." I tell them, I say, "Because I lack the knowledge." Yes. My son was reminding me 2 days ago. He said, "Mommy, there was a movie you would allow us to watch." Sorry, let me get my power on.
Okay.
The light has gone off. Let me get my power on. This is okay. Let me see. Before we wait for the gen to come up, I hope you can see me. Please,
Yes, I can
ma,
see you,
can you
ma'am.
see me?
Yes,
Is it a
yes, I
little
can see
bit
you, ma'am.
clear? Okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I can see you. It's fine,
They
ma'am.
will set it up immediately. Okay. So My son was asking me a question. He said, "Mommy, but you would allow us watch this kind of movies then? We used to watch it together." And I said, "Yes." I said, "I even was the one that bought that movie for us to watch." I said, "But today I have knowledge, so you can't, your younger ones can't watch it because it's going to cause a lot of damage that I'm trying to erase, weed off from you and your elder brother." I expect, I'm not the kind of parent that is so full of myself. I tell my children my weakness.
Mm.
I didn't know then, but now I know better. He said, "So you are now correcting?" I say, "Yes, I'm correcting it because I don't want to struggle to explain or to remove it out of them the way I'm struggling to remove some out of you and your brother." I used to give my children screen. I will buy all different types of cartoon. As a toddler, I fed them with enough cartoons to keep them busy. But do you know that today my own toddler cannot sit down and watch cartoon? My toddler started watching cartoon. In short, it's now that he turned 3 that we are managing to make him even sit down to watch. You can turn on TV, my son will walk away and go and do other things. He can never sit down to watch anything. We went somewhere and the woman was like, "This boy does not, he's not watching. He's just sitting with you and playing there." I said, "Because he's not used to it." And she was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not used." I said, "Even if I live here, he will look for another thing and be doing. It's not because I'm sitting here, that's why he's not watching." But you see my other ones, leave them there 5 hours.
They are
They are
there.
good to go. They are there. They are there. I see the difference. So at that stage, anything they pick as a habit, anything you want to see in your child as a teenager, start putting it in as a toddler. You won't struggle. You won't struggle. The reason why you are struggling now with your school age, because you missed that stage. I was privileged to have done child psychology course because I didn't do pure education in school. I went and registered for a child psychology. I began to understand that this thing, if you miss it, you miss it. If you miss it, you will struggle to get it back. And in the struggling, if you don't have skill, you will not start fighting. That's when you now start fighting with your children. Yes. Now I will not say my children say, "You know this thing, we used to do it like this." So I said, "Well, now I have knowledge and it's not right. Me sef, I'm trying to learn it. So you too try and learn it." That's why I used to put it to. I say, even me sef, I'm trying to correct myself. So now say, so mommy is trying to learn. And that means we should learn too now. There's no need coming and be forming jagaban for them. You know, it's not right. According to Worry, they play. Just they play.
Because Laurie, let me cut you short a little. You said something just now that we don't have to start fighting with our toddlers. I know there's something that will be going on in the minds of the parents, especially those that have toddlers now. We find out that most times when children have these tantrums and meltdowns, especially in
Yeah.
public, your toddlers,
Yeah.
you find out that most times the parents
Yes.
are literally fighting with the children. So,
Yes.
how can parents handle tantrums? It's one of the major issues I think
Okay.
parents have with toddlers. They easily throw tantrums. They easily get upset, and most times they don't even care where they are. They just do what they want to do. So, how can a parent handle tantrums and meltdowns with a toddler, both at home and in public? Because most times parents feel that it's embarrassing. So you feel like this child is embarrassing me. Oh. So you want to now try. Before you know it, you see a parent struggling with the child, fighting with the child, and you're wondering, is this not a baby or this is a toddler? You see like a battle ensue between an adult and a toddler. So how can parents really handle tantrums and meltdowns in private and in public?
Okay. Now, tantrum is not a sin. It is part of that developmental stages we are talking about. It comes with a child. It is you that will help the child to overcome it. It is a stage. It's just like how a child wee on the bed. You taught the
Yeah.
child to stop weeing on the bed. How a child was pooing on the floor and you taught the child to start pooing inside the potty or using the toilet. So it is a phase. But if you handle it well, it will go. If you handle it well, it will go. Adults still throw tantrum. I've seen
Hmm.
adults when they're angry, they go and break things, break television, break windscreen, break bottle, break everything. So why is toddlers own a problem? You that the parent, you how are you handling your own? Parents are still throwing tantrum. You that is even beating your child for throwing tantrum, you have tantrum. Yes, you have tantrum and they need to still help you too. Yes. Because if you understand that it's just like parents who beat their children for weighing on the bed. Why do you beat a child that the child weighed on the bed? It's a phase. You should be concerned on how to help your child.
Hmm.
There was a day my son weighed on the bed. Even after he had stopped weeing for a very long time, it came as a shock. So I went to him, I said, you weed? He said, Mommy, I don't understand what happened. I said, okay, let's think. What happened? What must have caused this? It is knowledge.
Hmm.
And he said, Mommy, I woke up in the night, I was reading, I was now hungry. And I went to eat food. I drank plenty water. I now slept off. Maybe that's what caused it. And I said, so what will stop this problem is that, okay, the power is on back. I said, so what will stop this problem is that next time when you wake up in the night, hungry is catching you, sleep back. Let's outgrow this phase first that you can manage. Just sleep, oh, force yourself and sleep. Nobody heard our voice, and that was the last of it. I said this thing happened not even as a school age though. After he has stopped as a preschooler. But by the time you now beat the thing inside the child, something that happened as a mistake. Okay, is it not beat? Next time the child will not be conscious again. So let me talk about this tantrum thing. Now, this was where I actually started learning about toddlers. When I had my son, when he was almost 1 year, I started seeing this tantrum thing. So I had to read about it. And God so kind, that was good. I was also doing this child psychology course. So it's as if everything was just blending together. So I started observing this boy. I said, so tantrum is real. Oh. You know, when people say tantrum, because we don't have knowledge, we don't understand what tantrum. So I was like, what is tantrum? So I started seeing this boy actually throw tantrum. He will just sit down on the ground and spread and be rolling, crying for nothing. You know, sometimes he will just hold the protector and be shaking it. He has energy, plenty one, and be shaking it as if he wants to pull the gate. So I now sat down. When I read that it was part of the developmental stages of a child, of a toddler, that is a phase that the toddler can go overcome, that if you, the parent, can be able to help that child before the child gets to 3 years, he can overcome it. So the first thing I started doing is I decided to learn how to stay calm. When he starts throwing his tantrum, I will stay calm. I will start looking at him to see what must have caused this tantrum. I don't just rush. Will you stop that? Why are you crying? Why are you no? I just stand and look at him. I'll just be looking at him and be telling myself, why is this boy throwing a tantrum? What happened? What happened when I left? What must have happened? Because I noticed that if I go and ask him what happened, he will now he will now, in short, when I just ask him, Bobo, what happened? Hey, I've increased the tantrum to the highest gear. So I first of all learned how to stay calm. So I will now sit down, I'll be looking at him. He will now come. He will see me looking at him. He will continue. I will now say, Bobo, the next thing I learned was how to create a distraction. I learned how to distract him. After I have stayed calm, in that time of staying calm, I will now think of that thing my son cannot do without. That thing that when he hears that thing, every cry will disappear. That is to say that you must have studied that child well enough. Because I call him Bobo as a pet name. Bobo, did you see that ball? Because my son loves football. He loves it with everything in him. He also loves to throw baki. Mommy, let me throw baki for you. He loves to throw baki. Yes, so he loves to jump. So I will think of those things that I know he loves to do. Bobo, I'm looking for your ball. I want to play it. He will now turn and look at me. He will sit down. He will not answer me. He will still be there. I say, ah, where is that ball? Where is it? Let me play ball. Hey, I want to score goal. I want to score goal. I want to score goal. I'm a good woman. I want to score a good boy goal. I want to score a who is the good boy? I want to score goal. Create a distraction. This may not work for your child. Look for that thing that works for your child. Create a distraction. Then I will not start singing. But boy is saying, I want him to play ball with me. Gradually, the thing is reducing. Minute by minute, seconds by seconds. It's coming down. It's coming down. Then I will now take a break. I will now look at him. If he does not stop, me, I will still be focused on that thing I'm doing. I will now think of another thing. Like this boy has not eaten. Oh. What's that food he loves so much? I will now say, hey, where is the beans? Where did you keep the beans? I should bring the beans for people to eat. All these things I'm doing is to take his mind off the tantrum. Look for a way to distract your child. Remember, your child is helpless every time they throw a tantrum. The child is simply telling you, I don't know what
to do. The child is helpless anytime they throw a tantrum. The child does not even know how to manage that emotion. So we are the adults, we are the parents, so we should be able to help them manage the big emotions, big in quote, because most times they do not have an understanding. Okay, why this emotion? How am I going to handle this? Remember what I said, that the brain is not fully developed, so they may not have a know-how on how to manage their emotions. So when your child is throwing a tantrum, the child is actually helpless. She said something. Even as adults, we throw tantrums, and sometimes we wonder if they start flogging every one of us or spanking us. I wonder how it will feel like. Yes, ma, you're back, man.
Okay, so I said, take a break. If all those things are not working, you step back, re-strategize, think of something else to do. But you must be calm. In all this, never you throw threats, never you show anger. Whatever you show will make the tantrum, whatever you show will either escalate the tantrum or reduce it. And remember, our motive is not to escalate it. Our motive is to help the child. Remember, every time your toddler is throwing a tantrum, your toddler is helpless and needs help. You must remain the adult to help the child. So you must stay calm, create distraction, take a break, show empathy. Show empathy. When the child is not calming down, you now go to the child. Bobo, I'm so sorry. I understand. Even if you don't understand how the child feels. So. Bobo, I understand how you feel. I know you don't feel good. Would you want to share you want to tell mommy what the problem is? Okay, what really happened? At that point, the child is now understanding that you love, you care. The child knows when you are showing love. Let me say this. Your toddler knows whom to go to when they are throwing tantrum.
Right.
Who to go to. That is where you show them that you really care for them. We always want it good when our child is behaving well. But we don't want to be with them when they are behaving, when they are throwing their tantrum. We cannot tolerate their tantrum, but we want to enjoy them. You can't children learn how to go through their trying times with them. That's where they will love you more. That's where they will trust you more. I've had to cry with my children together. Yes, there are times we've held hands and we've cried together. We've hugged ourselves. We told ourselves, oh, everything is going to be fine. We'll go through this phase and come out strong. Yes, I've had to.
Okay, she's having a little network issue. Thank you everyone for joining. If you have comments, keep dropping your comments so that we know you're actually following. If you have questions, you can drop your questions because we're gradually going to tie up this conversation. If you have questions on this topic, terrific tools, you can drop your questions so we can do our best to attend to your questions. Thank you so much. I can see my husband is online. Thank you, Pastor Christian Ahmed, Reverend Christian Ahmed, for joining us. So please, if you have questions, you can actually drop your questions. Your child is helpless when they throw tantrums. You must learn how to stay calm. Being calm is something that is learned. You have to learn it. I see it as a skill because most times we can't even stay calm when our children are throwing their tantrums. So we must first of all learn how to stay calm. Welcome back. Okay, the network is still okay. Let's see if you
Okay,
come back
so I
online.
said,
Right.
then the next one is be consistent. Be consistent in doing these things. Not today after you have shown empathy, you have shown that you care, you have shown that you have calm, you have helped to distract them, you have shown empathy. The next day, if they throw the tantrum, you say, I did it today. He calm down. Is it every day? You will keep doing it till the child learns how to manage his emotions.
Hmm.
What you are doing for your child when they throw tantrum, you are teaching your child emotional intelligence. That's what you are teaching. And imagine a child as a toddler already learn how to manage his emotions. By the time he becomes a teenager, he will not break your television when he's angry. He will not use mortar and stone your head, because the truth of the matter is that we don't understand these things. If you don't tame it now, it will tame you later. It's either you tame it now or it tames you later. It will terrorize you later. That's when you will now know that yes, you really raised a terrorist, because you also terrorized the child. When the child needed you to show empathy, you were terrorizing, threatening, bullying, and all manner of things. I made a post one that I said, when the punishment you give to your child is more than the offense the child committed, you are abusing the child. You are practicing child abuse. When the punishment child committed, that is child abuse. And parents came after me. I don't care what you feel about it. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Wow, the network. Okay. Dealing with tantrums. Learn how to stay calm, create distraction for your child, show empathy, and be consistent. So these are some of the steps Coach Lorine has given to us on how to deal with tantrums when our children have tantrums. So we must be calm, we must create a distraction, we must show empathy, empathize, let the child know that you understand what they're going through, and be consistent. Consistency is very key in parenting. Don't do something today, and after 2 days, you don't do the same thing. You confuse your children. When there's no consistency in parenting, you tend to confuse your children. So it's very important that we're consistent. It's very important. We're consistent. Okay. Our guest is having little challenges. You're back, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, ma'am, we're about to wrap up this conversation, but I want us to deal with something quickly before we do that.
Okay.
How can parents set boundaries and discipline a toddler? Now, how can a parent actually set boundaries and discipline a toddler? How?
Okay, like we talked about consistency as one of the things that can also help you raise a toddler when the toddler is throwing tantrum. It also applies to when you are setting boundaries. You have to be consistent. You have to, first of all, use age appropriate. Most times we don't communicate. We talk, we don't communicate. We talk to our we give instructions, rather we don't communicate with our toddlers. We will be using big grammar to talk to a toddler. How will the toddler understand what you are saying? You are talking to a baby, you are using grammar that I don't me say that as an adult cannot explain. And and you expect. So first of all, before you start learning how to set boundaries and discipline a toddler, first thing first, learn how to use age appropriate words for your toddlers. Simple language, even if you are emeritus, or you are a professor, or you are a dog, whatever it is, you are a one thing in English language, and you won awards for the best public speaker. That does not have nothing to do with your toddler. Toddler will understand simple English for now. For now, because that is the only way they will be able to relate to what you are saying. And make sure that when you are setting these boundaries, you also have boundaries for yourself. Remember, when we talk and we don't do, your toddler will also listen, will also pretend to hear and not act. So when you are setting boundaries, make your toddler know that you also have boundaries. Make your toddler.
Oh, I think the next talk keeps straying out of this stream. So we're almost close. I think we just have, if we're not already there, to round up this conversation. But I believe we have learned a lot today. If you have learned something, can I see maybe a word in the comments? What you have learned, how excited you are, your emotions for this conversation. Because we actually have to round up this conversation. We actually have
Okay.
to round up the conversation. Okay, ma'am.
So I said use simple languages to talk to your toddler so that they will understand what you are saying. And when you want to set these boundaries and discipline your toddler, give explanations, explain your reasons. Don't say they will not understand. There is nothing you tell a toddler that a toddler does not understand. The toddler will only not understand when you are using big grammar. But if you role play it, act some. There are sometimes I want to tell my toddler something, I want to act a drama self. Sometimes I will turn it into a song. In short, my toddler started writing on the wall. Wait, now parents who beat children for writing on the wall, thumbs up. Let me clap for you. You are beating your toddler for writing on the wall. I don't understand. When you say you want the toddler to know how to write, your toddler wrote on the wall the first day. That's telling you that the toddler needs a board. Go and get a board for the toddler, or there's this small board that you can use, that has eraser with it, cleaner with it. Somehow you
Yes.
can just erase. I don't know the exact name they call it, but I call it board and eraser for children. It's very, when I tell my son go and bring your board and eraser, he knows what to go and bring. When you start speaking big English, they will not understand anything. Mommy, what did you buy? I bought you a board and an eraser. So he collects it, and that alone, in short, the next day I saw that he started writing on the wall. I just went and bought a board. That board, I gave it to him. I said, take. But you want to write? I'm so happy you have known how to write now. Wow! My bubble can write. My bubble can write. Oh, my bubble can write. If you have a toddler, you don't know how to sing, go and learn. Go and learn how to sing. Some of the instructions is song, I put it inside. There are some manners I know so well. There are some manners I know. There are some manners I know so well. Do you want to hear the baba? I should do right on the wall. It's bad. I should do spit on the floor. It's bad. I should pick my nose. It's bad because it's not good. Baba, there are some manners. He will now join me in the song. Both of us will be singing it. I've set boundaries. I've given my laid down rules and regulations, but in a song. So you have to come to their level. Set boundaries that you too will be able to relate with. As you are setting boundaries, give options. You are setting boundaries that the child should not write on the wall. It's not allowed in this house. Nobody writes on the wall. What have you made? What have you provided for the child to write? If you are stopping something, you should create an alternative plan. All your don't, the child is getting too used to it, and it will somehow start sounding in his head like do. By the time you always say don't, you are sure, I told you that you are planting, you have planted it on the child's head. Everything becomes don't. There's no do inside. you are not raising the toddler well. It's going to have a negative effect on that child. So when you are bringing the don't, bring the do's. If you don't need to, since I say don't write on the wall, you do this on, you write on the board. Don't watch screen. Now, American Pediatrician Association said children below 2 years should not watch screen, should not have anything to do with screen. Yes, that's their rules. I know Nigerian parents will react to this. They will say, they are learning diction, they are learning phonetics, how to speak in Queen's English. No problem. Oshe, thank you. But the negative effect, you cannot deny it. That's the truth. You cannot deny it. You cannot. I didn't practice it in my other three children, but you see this my last boy. I can see the difference. The brain is working well. Everything, as in his results, what the teacher wrote, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. What the teacher wrote, he is this, he is that, creative, as in his attention span. He is so creative with anything, that because he's not learning one way. Screen is one way learning. But when you give them opportunity to do a lot of things with toys, with building blocks, with puzzles, you are bringing out the creativity in your child. What he will create, you'll be amazed. If I tell you the things my toddler does, that boy he started washing plates before he was 2 years. He can sweep, he can, so many things that boy does for himself. He washes his plates. He knows where to keep it. He knows where to keep everything. He pulls his uniform, he takes them inside, he knows where to put all his things without anybody telling him. Because you have programmed the brain to think. Your toddler is doing like a baby, you say move, he move, sit, he sit. You put him on TV 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. You say so that he will be busy so that you can do all that things. You are shutting down the child's creativity. You are killing his brain. You are taking away activeness from him. So when we set these boundaries, let us put a replacement. When you are setting boundaries for a toddler, have an option, have an alternative plan for that toddler to fall back to. Toddlers, they will talk, so be ready to listen. So when you are telling your toddler don't talk too much, have a plan for what he should be doing for not talking too much. You talk too much, and the child, when he even wants to say the truth, say my mommy said I talk too much, let me keep quiet. So please, then the last one I want to say is this: have reward for good behavior. Now your toddler, you created a boundary, you created a boundary, and the toddler was able to meet your expectation. Reward it. But for this thing you did, I don't use biscuit and sweet to bribe my children. No, I don't use it. I don't know of you. Stop it if you are doing it. Biscuit and sweet is not a reward. There are things your children want. Hug them 10 times. But for doing this, I'm gonna jack you up 10 times. My son will say, yeah, I will jack it 1, 2, 3, 4. That jacking up, he does not forget it. He loves it more than anything. Oh, because you did this, I will increase your playtime to shoot the ball. I mean, there was a day I even ran with my son. I said, for doing this, let's go outside the gate. Let's run from here to here. I saw your mask, get there, go. I was just strolling in his back. I made sure he took first position. Mommy, I won. I say, yo, reward. Biscuit and sweet. Your child will get too used to biscuit and sweet. And when you say, I will give you sweet for doing this, then is it not sweet? Is it not biscuit? When you say, but for this thing you did, I will carry you on my, I still back my son. He's 3 years. I still have rapper. I back him. But for this, I will back you. Yes, you can bring rapper. I will back him. We'll be turning around the house. That's reward. Anything can be reward. But don't tie it to only sweet, biscuits, ice cream, and all those things, because they will fade away. But these memories, your child will never forget it. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much, Coach
I
Lorine.
hope I was able
Thank
to.
you so much. Thank you so much. That's been an amazing conversation. Regardless of the network issues, it has been an amazing conversation. A lot of comments, you can't see the comments, but a lot of comments flowing in about what you have been saying. And thank you. I'll read one from, thank you so much, Jennifer Momo, for joining us. She says, that's true writing. That's true. Writing on the wall is a phase. with a board, they channel the skills appropriately. That really got to me. When your children are writing on the board, they actually the wall. They actually tell you that they need a board, so you have to get a board for them. My daughter started writing on the wall was it last year, and after a while, I just told myself, get a board. Let her be writing on the board to save my wall, because most of the times
So
they
that
keep screaming and they still keep going back to writing on the wall. So there's no point
mm,
screaming. And I like what you said about if you
mm,
are stopping something, you should create an alternative. It must be a replacement. So don't tell, keep
yes.
shouting, stop being on the screen, stop watching the TV. What is the replacement for the child? What are you giving the child to do? The child must be busy. Toddlers are busy little
Yes.
humans. They can't sit in one
Mm-hmm.
place. They are so active. They have
Busy
so
doing
much.
everything.
Yes, busy little human beings. They have so much energy that they need to exact the energy. They need to
Mm,
bring out the energy. So you must give them something to do. So if you are stopping something, get a replacement that enhances their creativity, like you said. Like she rightly said, APA admonishes that you shouldn't give a child that is below 2 screens. And most times we use the screens as our digital nanny. I know most times we need space, but there are other things to engage our children with so that they don't. There was a time my daughter was addicted to screens. It was serious. But thank God we had to work on the knowledge. We needed to get the knowledge, and we finally broke the addiction. So it's not a good phase to be in. Have a child that's addicted to screens. It limits their creativity. It limits even their academic performance. So please let us wake up as parents. Thank you so much, Coach Lorine. Coach Lorine actually has.
thank you.
Is it more than 3 books?
Yes, yes, yes. I have 4 books and one journal.
Okay, I'm back. Coach Lorine has some books. One of our books is When I Fail, right? I hope I'm right, Coach Lorine.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
then
yes,
another
yes.
book, yes, See It, Think It, and Live It. Then another book, Becoming More Every Day. So she's not just a head, she's well equipped. And I'm sure you have heard her talk today, so you know that she's not just talking. She has the knowledge and she's living the life. The guests we bring
Mm,
on SOP online conversations, they're not just talking words. They have the
mm,
experience. They are living. They are walking the talk. I think that's the right word.
mm.
They are walking the
Yes,
talk.
we're working
So
the talk.
yes. So what we're going to do after this conversation, I'm going to drop a social media handle so that we can actually follow her on our social media pages. If you need our
Thank
page,
you,
you can
thank
send her
you,
a private,
thank
yes, a
you.
private
Thank you,
message so that
man.
if you need advice, chat her up. If she said it's okay, okay. You say buy the truth and sell it not. Sometimes we need to pay for this knowledge. All these free things does not help us. So if you
Adios.
need, yes, so if you need consultation and you are charged, pay for
Yes.
it. It safeguards your life and the life
Hey,
of your children.
yes.
So please,
We
I'm
are
going to share our
paying,
social
oh,
media handle on that.
you know now, we are paying now,
We're
we
paying
are
big time. They
paying
don't
now.
understand.
We are paying big time now. Next year we'll still
Thank
pay
you
again.
so Thank you so
We
much,
are
Coach
paying.
Lorine. I
Thank
really do
you, ma.
appreciate
Thank you,
you.
ma.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
ma.
giving your time.
Appreciate.
Thank you so much, Ma. Hope to have you back on this conversation another day so that we can learn more.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank
Ma. Do
you,
have a
thank you,
beautiful
thank
night
you.
rest, Ma.
Thank
God
you,
bless,
thank
Ma.
you, thank
Bye,
you.
Ma.
All right. Yeah, bye,
Yes,
ma.
Ma. Bye. So we've had an amazing conversation today, and I believe everyone has heard something that they go back with to implement, to share to people. Thank you, Ira Godwin, Ira, for joining us today. Thank you, every one of us that joined, Ito and Gloria, Sareme, Jennifer, Mama, Kwame. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Keep watching our page, going back to our page. We send more information. We're going to be having an amazing conversation coming down in 2 weeks' time. Now, for August, we're not waiting to the last Monday of August. In August, we're going to have a conversation August 19th. I'm not going to tell you the guest is. Just keep following us on our Facebook page. You're going to see our guest. It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be a blast. Please keep your fingers crossed. Set your alarms. Program SOP online conversation in your schedules because in August we're coming out with a blast. You don't want to miss out on that conversation. Please inform, share our link, share our Facebook page, and with your loved ones, your friends. We need knowledge to parent successfully. It is very critical. Don't parent in ignorance. Don't parent with the mindset that this is how I was parented. This generation is different. Children, parenting evolves. Move with the evolution so that you're not left behind, so that you don't have children that are not contributors but are consumers. Please let us seek out knowledge. Some knowledge will not be free, some you have to pay for, but it is worth the investment. It is worth the investment. One of your primary purpose on this earth as a parent is to raise children that will be lights, children that will be living epistles of values, living epistles of virtues, children that will shine brightly and their lives will bring about hope to a people. So please, let us be proud to be parents. Don't be angry that you're a parent. It's a privilege to be a parent. You are a steward, and God is counting on you to deliver. And like I will always say, that you're a parent, you don't own your children. Your children were given to you by God. You're responsible to God, and you're responsible for your children. So please have it in mind. You're going to be an account of your parenting journey. And God is more than able. He has equipped you with the abilities, the capabilities, the opportunities, the resources for you to parent effectively. Thank you for joining me on this conversation. It has been an amazing one. And we're going to be back here August 19th with a bomb, with a blast. And I hope you'll be here with me. So I remain Kitty Ahmed, the convener of School of Parenting. That is SOP. So keep joining us on our conversations. And whenever we have programs, we look forward to having you join us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a wonderful rest and see you August 19th. Bye.